Hey, I'm back with the results of the case study that I started last week. If you haven't seen that, go ahead and click on the link below. But if you've been following this, you know that I have two homes in Hendersonville, North Carolina, and leaf season is really the highest season that we have other than Christmas. We have some festivals and other things that bring people in, but the month of October is our moneymaker. And it's kind of midway through September. And by Wednesday of last week, of my two properties, I had all 4 weekend nights open. So Friday and Saturday in one property, Friday and Saturday in another property. So I lowered my prices in one, and that got booked almost immediately. I am very happy with the price that we ended up getting. I'm often surprised how much people will pay. So going down a little bit really didn't hurt me. And I stayed true to my price on the other one because it's a little bit more luxury. And the second one, the more luxury one, did not book for Friday night. However, Saturday morning, we got a booking for Saturday night, which I love this way of travel. You wake up in the morning and you don't know where you're going to lay your head that night. And so I embrace it. And now I need to embrace it, not just from a traveler's perspective, but from an owner's perspective, and just learn to ride out these times. As I said last week, an Airbnb person went over my entire listings top to bottom, spent over an hour on them, said they were nearly perfect. There was nothing he would change. There were no settings that were wrong. And that is something to check. I had found, and I do one night bookings, I do instant book, and they can book the same day. But I had the cutoff for 4 o'clock that day, just so we could have time, or my co-host could have time to go over, turn on the lights and stuff. So when I switched it to 8 o'clock, then it unblocked that night and they just couldn't book past 8. But before that, it was just showing, from the morning on that it was unavailable. So that was the only thing that we changed. So really getting to know your area is really important. This would have never happened with my Fiji property. Although once Airbnb came along, I did start getting shorter and more last minute travel, but still had plenty of people booking 6, 9, 12, 18 months out. So it's really a new landscape. So one of the things you can do is check the data on Beyond Pricing, and even in Airbnb, you can click on the day and then it'll pull up a side thing and it'll show you how many people are looking compared to last year, how many homes are available compared to last year, and how many people have already booked that are expected to book. And that's really good information. Like when I found out it was even Thursday that really only 18% of the people had booked for this weekend, that really gave me a lot of confidence that I could just relax and not worry so much and just let the system do its thing. So other places you can check are with your Chamber of Commerce or your tourism board or your visitor center. They'll have really up-to-date stats on what day of the week people are arriving, what size groups are traveling in, how long they're staying, business, leisure, all sorts of stuff like that. That's really stuff that you can use. So you know really what to talk about in your subject line or your first line. I am definitely going to start promoting midweek stays because we're booked every weekend here on out. That's why this one had me so befuddled. But weeknight bookings are harder to come by. So I'm going to have to get really creative, and I've got to call into the Chamber of Commerce. They allow people who are legal and paying taxes to put a rack card up, but I have to check and make sure there's space before I design and print one out. So I hope this has been helpful. I kind of call this the much ado about nothing because I really don't think, even if I hadn't made the change in dropping the price on one of the properties, I really think I would have been booked. On both of them, I was the next property. So one of my properties was number 1, the second one was number 3. Then when those two booked, then I was still number 1. And I think if I had just relaxed and ridden it out, that I would have been fine. And even 75% booking, we only had one night, a Friday night in one of our suites that didn't go. I can live with that because we've got a really good October coming up. So here's to your success. This is Beth Carson Ellington with the Vacation Rental Profit Lab.